Now that we've grown up, and I say this, that we've grown up and we've matured, so respect to you, respect to me. It's not an easy thing to do, guys, growing up and being mature.
Look, Mum, I'm mature.
Look, Mum, I'm not holding the scissors the wrong way anymore.
Welcome to George's Haven, life, laughter, and all its lessons. I'm your host, George. Join me each week as we dive into life's ups and downs, share a few laughs, and uncover the lessons that make the journey worth it. So grab a seat, relax, and let's get started.
Welcome back, everyone. This is episode number 4 coming to you. This is George
and Ab.
The last topic about hobbies, and we're going to be talking about self-care. So we're going to get straight back into it and talk about self-care and the routines and all that kind of stuff. So let's start with the obvious question. What do you think a self-care routine is?
A self-care routine starts with the acknowledgement that you are not okay and that you might be burning out.
Okay. I don't think so, but okay. Yeah, what is a self-care routine?
Routine will probably, for me, I can talk for myself.
What is a self-care routine, just in general?
There's things that you do that help recharge your batteries, pretty much.
Recharge your battery? Yeah. Cool, man. So we're all electric human beings now?
Yeah. Well, some of us have social batteries and we can only handle a while and then we gotta go and just be like, that's enough.
That's right. So yeah, you're right to a point that... Yeah, I'm like that too. We may seem extroverted, but no, we're just because we're brothers.
Every time we go out, I'll be looking at George and be like, can we go now?
Yeah.
I'm just going to listen in the car, bro. And you can go with it.
Yeah, let me know when you're done. We'll go, yeah. No, it's good to have that secret language. Be like, oh, let's go. So that's always the fun thing of having a different language you can speak. Because tell people to leave when you need to leave.
Pretty much.
Self-care. Self-care is the basis of taking care of oneself, basically. So it's in the name. That is what I wanted you to say. Because it's really obvious. But you are right to an extent. I don't think I agree with saying that you have to be burnt out to have a self-care routine.
No, I think...
Or down that track.
No, I wasn't... Sorry if I meant it that way. I wasn't trying to mean it that way. I just meant, I think to initiate, you should... Self-care, what does that help with? It helps with burnout, right?
Yeah, self-care is very beneficial to the self, so it helps with everything to do with you. Yeah. Well, okay, so let's just... Who recommends self-care routines?
Well, you can get... It depends on the people around you. Your parents can recommend it. School, teachers, it could be mental health professionals, counselors, therapists. Yeah. So you're studying youth work. The reason I asked that is because what would you think about a youth worker recommending a self-care routine right now? 100%.
Why? Why would they do that? You've just gone through the training, that's what I'm asking you. I can answer the question. I'm a little bit...
Don't put me on the spot. I wasn't listening. I was sleeping in class. No,
we were all sleeping in class.
I'm sorry, teachers, if you see this. No, so it's very beneficial because, as a youth worker, we deal with a lot of heavy things and heavy situations, and we can burn out really quickly. So learning about self-care is a way of helping us manage that burnout and managing how we feel and just understanding, okay, maybe today was rough and I just need to go do some things that's going to help myself.
Yeah, don't put it on now, it's going to cause a lot of wind. Sorry guys, the windbreaker off the microphone fell.
But as a person giving someone, a youth member, tips on self-care, I think it will benefit them for the same as it benefits us, to help them with whatever they're going through and to give them a bit of self-love and things like that.
Yeah, no, you're 100% right. So I'm going to give you this back to continue on what you're saying. Oh, you want to take yours off and do that? Just turn it off so it doesn't affect the radio. Alright, so while he fixes the microphone, guys, so basically, as he was saying, self-care routines can be prescribed to anybody or anybody who is looking to better themselves. You need to find yourself a self-care routine. Self-care routines can incorporate anything and everything you want it to. It can incorporate anything as long as it is beneficial to yourself. The reason I say that, bro, a lot of people out there think a self-care routine can contain things like, watching TikToks or watching, Instagram or YouTube or Reels or whatever it may be. And some people don't see the effect that it has on their self with that. Now, we're going to talk a little bit about this in a spiritual essence in terms of how taxing it can be to bounce back. To go back to what you're saying about burnout, do you know what it is, or can you explain what burnout is in a quick sense?
Probably not.
Probably not. So burnout, guys, burnout is basically in the title, which when you burn out. No, I'm just joking. So burnout, guys, is when you do something for so long and it legitimately tires you out to exhaustion. So if you go and you Google what burnout means, you'll see a lot of people in the healthcare industry, a lot of people like teachers and things like that. They go through burnout really simple due to long hours, not enough sufficient care for themselves, not enough support in the industries, as well as just pure lack of care for these individuals.
Yeah, or just the what you're doing is just heavy.
Of course,
Because youth workers can a lot of things with housing, homelessness, family issues, abuse, all that things that could be heavy too.
Well, yeah, and then there's also people who burn out in relationships. You can be in a relationship so toxic that it burns you out, guys.
I just have an issue that popped up recently.
Of course, there are so many reasons that somebody can burn out, and majority of the time it is left to our mental health. Our mental health is left lacking. Yeah. The whole reason for burning out, you can burn out physically because you're so tired to continue on, your body can no longer go forward, but mentally burning out is far beyond exhaustion and physical boundaries. And what we have to understand is that it's not just about getting to a point of realizing, oh, I'm about to burn out, but it's working on a self-care routine so that you prevent burnout as much as you can. And what they do basically is take time off every now and then. So, and they take up to 2 to 3 weeks off. They get out of the country, they go for a trip, they go see family, whatever it is they need to do. Because it's self-care. It's about taking care of themselves, realizing that work is not all life is about. Working for retirement is not what we should be doing. The way the whole thing works is just against us, and hopefully they come out with a better reform for that. But till that happens, them realizing that taking time off from work and going and doing these things is beneficial for them, that prevents burnout.
Yeah, so the whole idea of self-care is not to get to the point where you are full on burnt out and just like, hey, I need like 4 months off because I just can't deal with anything.
Yeah, of course.
Or 2 months off, or like 4 weeks off. I can't. I can't do it. And you see, they're just like contemplating your life and your choices.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what self-care is about, and that's what the routine is about. You can do so. So a lot of people, I'm going to speak from what I've seen everywhere. I don't actually know myself because my self-care routine needs to work itself. So we probably shouldn't be talking about it, but we are. Self-care routines can do anything from, you going out and playing golf with the boys, or you going out for a drive with the boys, going out to a weekend, or going out every weekend, to get away from a certain area, taking time off work. Some people go for massages as part of their self-care routine. Some people write in a journal. Drawing is part of self-care as well. Exercise is a big one. Picking up a new hobby, as we spoke in the last one. Spiritual, a lot of people meditate, prayers. Doing charity work, volunteering, that kind of stuff.
There's really no right answer. Like, I can't say to you, just everyone who goes for a walk is doing self-care. I can't say that. There's not really an answer like that, but there is we're all individually different.
Of course.
And what works for you might not work for someone else. So it's important 100%. To just keep your mind open and to keep trying things out.
Yeah, and getting yourself into the routine of finding out what works for you is always best. So I know what works for me doesn't work for Ab. I know what works for him does not work for me. And it's about, we're brothers, so we live together. We understand that this is how it works. So if I'm not there, he knows that I'm doing this for myself, then he will be like respectful and understanding. Same, likewise. And that's really important, that once you do understand what your self-care routine is, I recommend always to, let people around you know. If your self-care routine is to be away from people and to take time for yourself, the people who love you the most and who are around you the most might not know that, and respect you the most might not know that. So out of respect, tell them so that they're not worried about you or, think that you hate them. Because people jump to conclusions that are absurd sometimes.
And assumptions, but they don't really know what's going on. You can never know what's going on in someone's head.
Well, exactly. That's the whole point. Like, if I don't tell you, you will never know. It's that simple. Because you can guess all you want, and that guessing and that assuming is going to be detrimental to our relationship. It's also going to be detrimental to my self-care routine and your self-care routine if all we're doing is nitpicking on everything that we do.
And just to give you an example, because I like to have examples in anything I see. If George is having a bad time or he's trying to do some self-care, he comes up to me and he's like, hey, I'm just letting you know I'm going on a walk. I'm not doing okay, but I'm doing this to help myself with self-care, or just to help myself. And then I'll be like, do you need anything from me? No. Okay, thanks for letting me know. Be safe. Let me know if you need something.
Yeah, it's all love at the end of the day.
It is all love.
It's all love. Like, we are big advocates now that we've grown up, and I say this, that we've grown up and we've matured, so respect to you, respect to me. It's not an easy thing to do, guys, growing up and being mature.
Look, Mum, I'm mature.
Look, Mum, I'm not holding the scissors the wrong way anymore. No, the point is that you can get to a point where it's all love and peace between each other, between what you're doing, and if you're not comfortable with what you're doing for self-care, and you're only doing, so if I was doing self-care and I wanted to get, better for myself, and I'm doing his program or whatever he does, and it's not comfortable with me, but I'm doing it because he does it, it hurts me more than it's going to hurt anybody else.
Yeah.
So take time for yourself.
Yeah.
Find what you like.
Find what you like, and it's cool. It's cool.
It's cool, yeah.
So,
I think the main thing to do is try to find try to get yourself into three sort of genres. Try to get yourself into a self-care routine that helps you physically, that helps you mentally, that helps you spiritually, in terms of finding your inner peace and your inner meditation and your inner self and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
If you go down that track.
You don't even need a routine, but it is good to have one.
Well, a routine just means you stick to it, right?
Well, I thought wouldn't a routine be like multiple things that you do out?
No, not necessarily. So a self-care routine could be, for example, I go into the sauna twice a week. Yeah. That's my self-care routine.
Yeah, okay.
Do you know what I mean? Or I write in my journal 3 times a day. That's my self-care routine.
Yeah, cool.
You know what I mean? That's, I guess a routine just means that it's something you do repetitively and something that helps you.
Yeah.
Which we all have subconsciously, I guess, in a way. But yeah. So a part of this, my other question to you would be, what would you do what can you do to help somebody realize that they need to take care of themselves? Or in terms of the fact, let's not make it too political or too deep, but let's go into the essence. I'll give you an example. When you were working as a chef and it was all really, really, really hard and all this stuff, what would you have liked somebody to say to you to help you get into the mindset of, hey, you need to take care of yourself?
Awareness. Just someone to be able to come up to me and be like, hey, I've noticed that you're working really, really hard. Have you done anything for yourself recently? Just have someone to be like, hey, are you okay? And I've noticed that you're doing hard, you're doing a lot of things, and it would be cool if you need something. Which is really hard to have in our industry because a lot of people are, we can get really deep into this, but
well, they're already burnt out. No offense.
They're already burnt out themselves, and they are unaware. Like, it's not something they think of.
Yeah.
So it's not something. So they're like, oh, he's just busy, just like me, and we just keep working like robots or whatever.
Yeah. So acknowledgement and
just
helping you aware.
Just be more
keep
aware.
yourself aware.
Yeah. I have a saying I love to say is education brings awareness. Awareness brings the ability to change. I think
we're going to slow that down and say it again.
Sorry. Education brings awareness.
Yep.
Awareness brings the ability to change.
Ooh, nice.
It's one of my favorite sayings.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just the fact that when I'm educated, I can then, so if I know about self-care, I can then become aware when I need to have self-care, and I can start changing and developing the routines and habits.
Nice, I like that.
Yeah. So for me, yeah. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, of course it does, yeah. I think it's different. Sorry to interrupt. I think it's different back when you were in that moment. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, 100%.
When you're in that moment, and I think everyone can attest to listening to this or watching it, that when you're in that moment and you're actually going through those struggles and those hurdles and you don't want to be around anybody and you're so burnt out that you don't care what people say or all this kind of stuff, it's really hard to hear somebody tell you that and then go along with it.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
It's a journey.
Definitely difficult.
Yeah, and it's a journey. Like self-care, self-love, not thinking negatively and changing your thoughts and working on yourself and becoming a better person, it's not gonna happen tomorrow.
No, it's
but
not.
it's little steps every time that will get you to that final destination of just being better. And there's no limit to how better you can be. So with self-care, there's no limit to how much you do or whatever happens. Is what works for you and just doing it. So some examples of self-care, I know we talked about them briefly, but for me, I like to go for a walk and pray. I feel like when I pray, I feel like the weight lifted off my shoulder. When I go for a walk, I can contemplate and make sense of what's happening.
Yep.
And then also going for a walk and listening to nature and stuff, it helps a lot. So that's for me. That's what I do. And then I have gaming. When I don't game every day, even if it's for like 10 minutes of the gaming, I feel better. But when I don't game, I feel like something's missing. And I feel like,
Yeah, so that's definitely a routine, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, 100%.
100%. No, I agree. So for self-care for me is I write a lot. So writing things down, jotting them down, writing notes, that kind of stuff. Expressing those notes out loud whenever I need to, repeating them back to myself, self-affirmation and, self-encouragement, and also just being present. So whenever I'm really lacking in terms of mental health, I try to get myself amongst other people who are going to bring out the best in me, or try to go do something, go for a drive. Driving is definitely one of those self-care routines. Go to a car meet amongst people, go out for a coffee with a friend, or things like that definitely helps. So your self-care routine doesn't have to be necessarily individualistic. When you game, you're gaming online with some friends.
Sometimes with friends, sometimes just by myself and chill.
Yeah. Exactly. But that's the whole point. So you just find what's most similar to you. I know that I can't take Ab for a drive for self-care for him because he's going to get dizzy like he did when we were on the way here.
Pretty much.
And he knows that he cannot get me to sit there gaming with him for self-care because I will not sit there to game in the first place because it's not my thing. I do every now and then play games, but I'm very...
That's more of an individual thing.
Of course. Well, not necessarily, but it's just not part of my routine or something that I would pick up that kind of way. But if he told me, come and watch me game, I would go sit in his room and just be on my phone or writing some things down while he's gaming, and just being in that area is enough self-care for me. So that's the whole point. Find yourself some peace, find yourself some self-care, take care of yourself because you are number one, as I tell every single person I try to meet, all the people I work with. Whenever something's up, like, remember, you're number one. You've got to take care of yourself. If you don't take care of yourself, nobody's going to take care of you. You can't expect anybody to. Expecting somebody else to know what you're feeling is absurd, and please don't, because whatever they think you're going through, you are not. Like Ab said, awareness and acknowledgement goes a long way. Just by simple saying, hey, how's it going? Hope you're doing well. I've noticed, blah, 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 blah. Is there anything I can do to help you take care of yourself?
Yeah.
Instead of, don't try to offer help for somebody if you're not able to. Offer acknowledgement of their work and their efforts.
Yeah, that's actually a really good thing that you just said. You don't have to help people.
Yeah, you are not obliged to help
anyone. You're not obliged to help anyone, especially if you're not able to. It's probably better for you not to.
Oh yeah, it's more detrimental to you, and the other person's not going to benefit anything. Not going to benefit anything. There's many times where I've gone up to Ab and I'm like, look, I want to try to do this, and help you with this, and he's like, no, I don't need it, and I'm trying to push it, and then he's basically, once you do that and you push it, you realise that whatever I'm trying to give him to do, it's not going to help him, it's not going to benefit me. Well, what am I doing here?
Yeah, or there'll be times where it's like...
Likewise.
Yeah, or there'll be times where George will come to ask you for something like, well, I really just can't help you at the moment. So I'm not in the right mind space to...
Yeah, exactly.
That's fine. It doesn't mean I don't love him or anything.
And there's nothing wrong with that. It's about, for example, if I go up to Ab and I was like, hey, I want you to, do this for me because that's going to help my self-care routine. That's a really big ask to get somebody to do tasks for you to help you out when you should be doing it yourself. In terms of self-care routine, Ab cannot go sit in the sauna for me to feel the difference. He cannot go write in my journal what I'm feeling to feel the difference. So it's helpful for me to be like, hey man, look, I need some people around me right now. Do you mind if I sit in your room while you game and I just listen to you guys chat?
Yeah.
And I'll just sit here on my phone or drawing or colouring in or whatever. I'm like, yeah, that's fine, no worries, let's do that.
Yeah.
You know, and that's the point. Accommodate when you can, but do not offer please when you can't, because you have to realise the harm you're causing before you cause any good.
Yeah.
Maybe too much harm.
And there's a verse in the Bible that states, if you have, how can you help your brother who has a twig in his eye?
Yeah,
When you have how can you remove the speck from his eye when you have a planking or?
Exactly.
I don't know if I had quoted the right words, but that's pretty much what it was saying.
Yeah, exactly. Help yourself before you help somebody
Help
else.
yourself before you help.
And if you have the
That's
ability
fine.
to help somebody else, by all means, please do reach out. Make sure, I think everywhere you go right now, duty of care is something that is important. Duty of care states that you take care of yourself first. So that is very important for everybody in the care industry. I've been there, he's in there now. Everybody in the care industry, everybody in the service industry, customer service, retail, hospitality, all that stuff. Take care of yourself first, then you take care of the other person. As long as you're happy and you're healthy and you're comfortable is the main thing in your life, then all your life will be a little bit easier to understand and grasp and move forward. I don't think I've got anything else to add. I feel like we've been rambling on for a while.
Did you want to add anything on spirituality or?
Not necessarily. I mean, spirituality is pretty general in terms of. Yeah, I think everybody out there's got their own way of spirituality. If you don't, please comment down below. If you'd like us to talk about spirituality, we can definitely open that book up.
We can open that book.
It's very big, and we have actually very conflicting views sometimes. So
yeah,
it would be very interesting to have that conversation, but we can definitely do that. I don't think I've got anything else. If you guys have any other questions about self-routines or what we can talk about, down in the comments below, please. Wherever you're viewing this, please make sure you share and like the video.
Yeah. Put down in the comments also what you do for self-care.
Yeah.
And has that changed? Has your routine changed all the time?
Yeah.
Let us know, because it'll be nice. We can learn from each other and we can grow. Maybe you do something and I'll be like, oh, I never thought of that. You know?
Yeah, exactly. What works for you? What works for you, and how have you helped somebody else develop their routine? Because I learn from other people's mistakes. So when I see somebody journaling wrong, I realize that I could do it better, and I have done it better. And that's the whole point. By the way, the person who was journaling wrong was myself, and I only take blame for that. So, yeah, not going to go forward.
On that bombshell.
Thank you everybody for listening and tuning in. We appreciate you very, very, very much.
Yeah,
please take care of yourselves. Like always, if you guys want to see more of Ab, please visit his channel. Link is in the description. If you want to see more of myself, link is in the description. And see you in the next one. It's episode 5 now. Well, this is episode 4. Next one.
This is episode 4?
This is episode 4.
Yeah, we'll see you next time.
See you next time.
It's getting good.
Thank you for tuning in to George's Haven's podcast. This is the end of the video, podcast, or wherever you're joining in. Leave a comment, share your thoughts, and let's get on to the next one. See you soon.